there are few boundaries around the digitization of healthcare. Peter, you'll remember a time when there were job postings for digital marketing experts, and now that just doesn't exist, right? There is no one who happens to know a little bit about Twitter or X or whatever it is. Digital is just infused into everything we do, from copy to monitoring to performance, and that's just in marketing. No one talks about computers in commerce or, digital business. It just is a state of being. So you ask specifically, what about EHR? What about telehealth? What about maybe some of these solutions that have been shoehorned into the system? I think we need to think about maybe 3 different elements, and that's a useful rubric. So there's the infrastructure that we need that will allow the flow of data and communication. So that will include things like the EHR, which is a storage and a repository for data. You can think about exactly the kind of conversation that we're having now, and perhaps folks are listening into. This is happening through a communications vehicle. We also have to be really clear that healthcare, of course, is complicated, and there are healthcare services and there are healthcare products. So you can think about digitally enabled care delivery, and you can think about these digital health products that may be regulated by the FDA, for example. And so I think one of the challenges that we've had in the early days is that there's been a focus on what folks might describe as point solutions. So individual products or solutions that disregard the fact that this entire 4.3 trillion domestic industry, $10 trillion worldwide industry is digitizing across the board. Nothing can be done in a vacuum. It has to contemplate the entire environment. Actually look to our colleagues at the VA. The VA partnered with a company called Podimetrics. They use a SmartMat in the home of veterans with diabetes. Now remember, veterans, they are warfighters. For those that came home with 2 limbs and get diabetes, it is our responsibility to make sure that they certainly do not lose them due to poor management of a condition that we've been able to treat with insulin for 100 years. This SmartMat solution, coupled with a tech stack and a triage system, has been rolled out nationwide. And since this has been used, Peter, the VA has eliminated lower limb amputations in veterans with diabetes. It doesn't require adherence. Veterans throw it under their sink and use it when they brush their teeth. It's very well integrated into the system, and it's having tremendous life-changing outcomes. That's the sort of thing we want to see. It's not an individual device. It's part of a full stack solution, and the outcomes have been superb.